Hi fam, it's Dylan's mum Deborah. This is Dyl Friends.
It gives you a back rub and says, it's going well, Brian. It's special.
Get comfortable, being uncomfortable. Just keep showing up and find a way.
Cam was so nervous he couldn't swallow water.
Handed him a sheet of paper with 6 names and said, Chief, we've got to cut these 6 blokes.
Wow, shut up. I've just been barbed by a stingray, mate.
I'm just yelling at him, you saved my life, you saved my life, you saved my life. Thank you, thank you.
I spent the last, I think it was a couple of weeks in jail. The deepest, darkest moments often bring about our biggest highs.
Tony Armstrong, how am I, boy?
Are we on air?
We're on air, man.
Oh, far. I'm just trying to work out TikTok.
I know, man. Look, to be honest, we had this thing a while ago, like with work, and like we're a digital company and don't use TikTok enough. Like it is just mental how big TikTok is.
Man, it's actually wild. Like the other day I tried to do an Instagram and I put up 8 photos of pasta.
I know. I actually thought that was a purpose like thing because it
I'm a
actually
funny
went
guy,
pretty
but-
well. It was quite funny. Did you see my comment?
Nah, I lost it in the ether.
My comment was pretty funny, man.
What did you say?
I was
Dylan?
going to say, oh, you're in Italy. How's the pasta?
That's funny.
Then I commented saying, never mind, I swiped. Did you like that?
Well, I didn't know that you said that. I
Yeah,
do like that. Sorry,
So you got a podcast, yeah?
I've forgotten my radio
You got a
craft.
podcast.
Yeah,
radio.
you're about to say learn
I was
how
gonna
to
say maybe
speak
talking
into
to the
mic.
fucking mic. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot my radio craft there.
Hey, guess what? 3 years ago, nearly like exactly 3 years ago to the day since our last pod.
Actually?
Yeah. No, Dylan, not Ashley.
You're a dad now. You get away with it, doesn't he?
And guess what I've got for you? If you remember,
I brought you wine,
You
and
did.
I brought you a very specific one. I brought you that exact wine.
3 years ago, this exact wine. Come in. I was waiting for it the whole time for you to come back so that we could break it. But I also got you another one. This one's for you as well. It's a nice Elefante Temporalio Shirazio 2020.
You started off with an Italian accent there, and
Yeah.
then you kind of went pan-global, didn't
I
you?
sort of felt like let's not do
should
it.
we?
Which one do you want?
should
This
we-
one's got dust on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we should have some of the Molly
So do you think we
Duca.
break the Nelly Duca?
I think we have the Molly Duca because it's kind of like full circle stuff.
Okay. Darcy's here as well now. He wasn't here this time.
No, Darcy wasn't. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's actually so nice being in
Molly
here,
Dookie
mate. Thank
or
you.
in here?
No, it's so nice to be in here.
Yeah, me too. I mean, thanks.
What? Man, what's been happening, man? I mean, like
what's
we
this?
obviously talk a lot.
Yeah.
Outside a broadcast or like a podcast. Hey, cheers.
Cheers, Joseph.
Cheers, guys.
Daz. Cheers.
Cheers, Dyl.
Cheers,
Daz.
cheers, eyes. Mate, I'm not joking. That's Molly Duke and Felicious. Does taste 3 years old though.
Nah, it's perfect.
Yeah,
bro.
it's age worth it. Yeah, actually. Thanks.
So,
We talk a bit. But
yeah.
you know what you do a lot?
What?
You're a real caller, and I think I do this as well a little bit. But you're worse. I'll call you, and then you'll call me back, and you'll just we'll talk, and then you're like, man, I gotta go, and then you just disappear.
Yeah, well, you have to, man. Like,
That's true.
like, I mean, you're busier than I am now.
I wouldn't say that. But you're very busy.
You are a father.
I am.
Congratulations.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, it's been crazy.
And we haven't. I mean, I'm sure you've spoken about this ad nauseum, but is it one of those things where you never realised you could love something or someone so unconditionally?
Oh, I can. It's conditionally. Sometimes it gets difficult. But no, I'm joking.
No.
It is crazy.
It gets
Yeah.
difficult, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but underpinning it is unconditional love, right?
It is unconditional love, man. And even like I feel bad saying this, but like with my dog, she can't listen to podcasts,
That's what you think.
Well,
Have you
that's
seen
what I think.
Dr. Doolittle?
I have, and that does concern me. Maybe I won't say it. But no, Frank comes in here to work every day, and they ask me before, because I'm like obsessed with my dog. Like I will lay down in traffic for my dog, and never thought that, even before the baby, I know it sounds stupid, I was like, I don't know if I could ever love something as much as I love Frank. And then when you have this little person that comes in and he just looks at you, and it's just like, it's not even something you can describe it's like a different thing. Because it's you, and it's like, it's not even love. It's something totally, it's infatuation. Like, it's no word can describe it. It is genuinely special.
That's so good, man.
But it's not like, don't get me wrong, when he first came out, the funniest thing was, because you hear these romantic stories about coming out and going, oh, I'm just in love. When he came out, I was like, who the fuck is that? Like,
This is an alien.
Yeah, I was like, who is this man? Like, it just rattled me, because I don't know. Whenever I pictured having a kid, I pictured him at like 2, 3, 4 years old, talking to you, having fun, kicking the footy.
You never
forget about the baby thing.
You never picture blob phase.
No.
No one pictures blob phase. And are you a Seinfeld fan?
No.
Yeah, I pick you as a Friends guy.
No, I hate Friends as well.
What's your podcast called?
Dylan Friends.
Okay, sure.
That was good.
So Seinfeld, there's an episode where they're like, you gotta see the baby, and they go around and they look at this baby, and they basically get kicked out of the house because they look at this baby and they're like, oh, disgusting. And that's what I'm calling your kid.
Well, it's funny. No, but before we had him, and like I don't know if Love is Blind. I'm sure it is. I'd have to ask one of your romantic partners. But when we had him, I was like, I will be so honest to Juz if he's not cute.
Yeah, there's no way, man.
And
there's no way.
I think he's the best looking baby in the world. But there's definitely babies I've seen out there going, I go, oh, that's a head a mother could love. You know, Anyway, let's not bag babies. Mate, how are you? So much going on, man. It's actually, on a quick reflection piece, and I know we're doing a podcast, but even just sitting down as friends, because we talk about this stuff a lot.
Yeah.
We have, I nearly just said we've had linear journeys. We have in a way in terms of the same leaving things.
Well, yeah, like I guess
you're on a more global stage.
We never got what we wanted out of footy.
Yeah.
We never got, so I guess we start there. We never got what we wanted out of footy, and then you were far better when you first finished up in that you grabbed everything by the horns. You started this basically like this exists because of the decisions you made immediately after. But one thing we both knew was that there was more to us than just footy. And I don't think either of us really knew what it was when we immediately finished up. And then now, you kind of look back and you go, far out. Obviously there was all these skill sets there.
Transferable stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That we hadn't worked out how to monetize is the wrong word, but we hadn't worked out how to make work.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
And then like, I obviously don't just watch closely. I watch from afar when we haven't spoken for a couple of weeks or something. And, getting to watch what you do and what you've done and what you've created and the infrastructure you've got around you now that has only come from your hard work has been makes me really, really proud. I remember sitting there at the AFL Players Association delisting camp basally. We were having a chat and he started floating this idea to me and I was like, hell yeah, far out, go do it. And now you not only have did you go do it, you've turned it into something that's your life. And how nice is that to be able to find that nice synergy between something you're good at, something you love doing, and then something that brings you joy from working hard. And yeah, mate, it's awesome to see see you grow like that.
It means a lot. You're always very kind-hearted, and that's not an act. That's the big Tay Armstrong. But it's not about me. It's about you, my friend, because you're the one dominating. It is what? Do I just fucking copy what you said and just throw it back at you, or
no?
That's how I feel. I'm, that were my sort of words before you jumped in, but I do appreciate it. What you have done, and I think that not to play this up, but on a level of me doing what I've done. It's not the first time anyone's done this, but I think what you're doing is actually groundbreaking in terms of where you are, where you've come from, what you're doing. To be nominated for the Logie last year and another one this year as well, which is that out yet?
Yeah. So nominations are open.
We will talk about that.
Are you going to do the thing?
Yeah, we are going to do the thing. But isn't it mental, man? We were sitting down, just on a little bit of a reflection thing, because we were sitting down 3 years ago and none of that shit was even happening yet. It was starting to really take off for you. But to think where it is now, I'm not surprised. But the snowball's just been hectic, hasn't it?
It's funny. It's funny, isn't it?
This is a podcast of just drinking wine and reflecting.
Yeah, no, it's fucking sick. This is Dylan's job, man.
Just talk. I know.
But I guess what's and you would attest to this. It's a lot of people will be like, oh, that just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, 5-year overnight success.
Yeah, it's overnight success. But it's you bust your ass for so long to an audience of no one, but you get really like you get really good at what you do to an audience of no one. So then when you do get the opportunities, you're kind of battle ready, you know? And then when the opportunity comes, you're just so ready for it.
Yeah.
Like I would say it must be what it's like playing football if you're Darcy Moore. You know, like when the opportunity comes, you're like, yeah, I'm fucking sick. I'm sick.
I'm ready to go.
I'm good as at this. Like you must feel like that now. Like if someone puts a mic in front of you, you're like,
That's actually a really interesting.
you're like whatever. Because like I never felt that at AFL level.
Yeah, that
as
confidence.
a footballer.
Yeah.
Like I was like always going, oh God,
Second-guessing
like
yourself.
am I good? Like it was always, am I good enough? Whereas now it's like I've put in the work. I know that there are situations where I have to like it's touch and go, but now I've got like unwavering belief in what I do.
Have you heard of this like thing? And it's this notion that I really love. It's like talks about there's no such thing as a lazy person. They're just in the wrong role. Or there's no such thing as an incompetent person. They're just doing the wrong thing.
I like it.
So it's like no matter in life, we're all good at something. And you could say someone's lazy, but are they lazy or are they just not passionate about the thing that they're doing? Because you know what it's like, even when, not to say that we were lazy or incompetent of what we were doing, but maybe it just wasn't the right thing. Because I know now, like the effort that you'd put into the stuff that you're doing, because you're getting the reward and seeing the reward and you're getting things done.
It's kind of like
it's just a snowball, like
yeah.
part of it.
It's kind of funny because I look back on footy and like I know I busted my ass. Like I busted my ass when I did it, but then like I look back. Like I've still got an honest man's pillow, but then I look at how hard I'm working now and I'm like, oh, I'm working harder now.
Yeah. But you're getting opportunity to work harder as well. That's the part.
I know. And then that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you get the opportunity and then you do okay. And it's like, I'm pretty sure I've said this to you. It's like, I thought like once you kind of cracked through, when you started establishing yourself, you could actually take it easy a bit because like you've established yourself. But no, it's actually
maintain.
Or like keep going.
Yeah.
You actually, because you have more stuff coming through the door, you have to work harder. And then like your standard and the expectation on you is higher. So, I mean, if we use Darcy Moore as an example, again, like now he doesn't get to play shit because of how good he is, right? And that's just because of the amount of work he's put in, blah, blah, blah. So like he has to work so hard to keep getting better because everyone's
gains.
Yeah, exactly. It's like diminishing returns, right? But yeah, it's so exciting. I feel like I'm just getting started. Yeah, there's some, like I've told you before, like I'm really excited, like I'm really into like the creative world, and I'm like about a month away from being able to tell you some amazing things that are happening that I don't think people will expect. Yeah, they'll definitely surprise a few people, and I reckon if like some of the stiff coaches I've had along the way saw the press releases or whatever they are, they'd go, yeah, that's why I didn't pick him, because yeah, he was probably more into that.
You going on The Bachelor, or is that what it is?
That's sloppy journalism, mate. That's fucking sloppy journalism. I mean, how many times have I told you that they haven't asked? Ask me.
Oh, no. Have they not asked you?
Of course they have, mate. I mean, have a look at this.
Yeah.
I'm an oil painting.
That is an oil. While we're on the topic of loving you, there's one group that really loves you. And
Who's
it's
that?
like that. We've been, I'm not going to say that we're talking about this all the time, but I've brought it up with you. Like there was like that big thing around single mums and Tony Armstrong. Was that a serious thing? Like, talk us. Was that something that was really like going in the inbox? Like, what was happening?
Do you know
there?
what happened the other day? I told a few friends this, and I'm glad I get to tell you here now. I walked in onto the News Breakfast couch because, like, I wasn't in there for an interview with this like mum age woman, and Anyway, they were like, they had a package going. So like, I'm not in the room. They're talking on the couch. Anyway, the floor manager comes out to my desk and he goes, Tone, can you come in? This lovely lady wants to get a photo with you. And in I go, and I sit down. She goes, ching, ching. But as we get in the photo, she's like, you're my hall pass. My husband said, it's fine. You're my hall pass. I'm like, this is incredible. I feel like that's pretty fucking red hot. Like, I mean, I didn't
What'd
feel.
you say?
I was like,
I just went to
let's
water.
get the photo. Bye.
Oh my God.
It was very awkward.
Yeah, it is. That is awkward. But it's a nice thing to be admired. You're only human.
I mean, it certainly made me feel a bit weird in my workplace.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh man, but yeah, like it's still a thing.
That's cool. Hey, since we last chatted as well, the escalation of stuff. When did stuff start getting pretty cool for you? Like when you thought, all right, this is like really cool. I can make like this my full-time thing, but really excel in it and have fun. Was it getting the ABC role full-time like that?
Yeah, look, it was probably getting the news breakfast role. So I read the sport on News Brekkie every morning. It was probably getting that full-time.
Did you love it? Do you love it?
I love the work.
Yeah.
I hate the hours. I mean, if we could just make news breakfast kind of like
Lunch breakfast.
European and kind of push it back a bit, kind of 10 a.m. start, happy days.
They say that you can't work in breakfast your whole life.
But the 3:45 alarm.
Fuck.
I mean, I'm not going to complain to you about lack of sleep, but
it's tough for a consistent day.
But it definitely impacts on my life as a whole.
You go home and sleep though, don't you? Did you try have a nap in the arvos?
Well, because I've had all this other stuff on that I've been working on that is about to come to fruition, I haven't been sleeping much, which is hard, but that's just what you have to do. Like no one, unless they're like the kids of billionaires, gets to just only do the thing they want to do with no guarantee of financial reward. Like, I think everyone has to moonlight doing something like, like do a bunch of shit so that, and then on the side, do the thing that they're passionate about until they can make that their bread and butter. And that's kind of what I've been doing. And that's fine. Like I'm happy to work hard, but I'm glad that the stuff's about to kind of pay dividends.
It's awesome, man. While we're on the topic of the Logies, I know you're a humble man, you hate talking about this stuff, but I'm going to go there. Because last year when you won the Best New Talent, Best New Talent.
Most Popular New Talent,
Most Popular New Talent, apologies.
No.
Obviously, we were voting on that as the community, and we'll be voting on the next one.
I'd love that if the community could get around.
No, we will.
That'd
What's
be awesome.
the best way to actually do that while we're here?
TV, if you go to TV Week.
I'm just typing it in.
www.tvweek.
TV, so that's a T and a V?
I think so. Let me just look it up while I'm here.
Okay, T and a V, weekly. Okay.
So it's tvweeklogies.com.au.
TV. I'm just doing it at the moment.
And I think the first page is one of the ones that I've got, which is A Dog's World with Tony Armstrong.
Funnily enough, guys, as well, if you're out there, you don't even have to put the .com.au, it just comes up for me.
And then if you scroll through to
click on vote.
Bert Newton Award for Most Popular Presenter,
I'm just doing it as we speak.
then you'll find me on that list as well.
Well, let me just quickly go through
who I'm up against.
Yeah, who you're up against. So could we just go through it? So most popular lifestyle program, is that the thing we're going for? No.
So that's one of them.
Oh, I've got to go through all of them.
No. So that's one of them, A Dog's World.
Okay, well, I'm voting for A Dog's World. Obviously, that's one of my favourites.
Yeah, and then if you scroll through to Most Popular Presenter.
Okay. Is that at the end?
Which is the Bert Newton Award.
Oh, Bert Newton Award. Sorry, guys, just quickly going through this now.
I mean, it'd mean the world. I mean, I don't think there's too many former list clogging.
Bert Newton. Oh, Hamish Blake's on it, man.
Nah, but you know what?
Oh, come on.
Nah, but you know what?
Hamish Blake's on it, man.
But you know
Lego
what?
World. Lego Masters, sorry.
Nah, but you know what? Here's the thing. I think everyone will be voting for him for the gold, and then they'll get to that, and they'll go, you know what? Tone, Tone, we've already voted for Haim.
I do love Scotty Cam.
Don't you fucking dare.
I do love
give me the
Scotty
laptop.
Cam, man. Oh, Sonia Kruger. Jeez, it's tough, bro. I'm gonna go with you. I'm just doing it
It's
now.
tough, mate.
It is tough. I just did.
No, see, like,
I just did it.
I've gone up a few weight classes since last year.
Yeah, you're in the.
I mean,
Really go.
that's the big leagues.
Yeah, good stuff, man. No, it's exciting. So, really excited for that. I literally just put in my vote in there, man, and I've done it again. Just made a few emails as well. Looking forward to getting fucking sent emails to Logie Week for the next 15 years of my life. But that's
Hey,
fantastic.
mate, you're welcome. That's the data. They love the data.
Last but not least, not last but not least, going back to the one before, talk me through that as an event. Like, was it actually fun? What was it doing? Because I remember I messaged you, not expecting for you to reply because it was like straight after, and you sent me a photo of
Was
like.
it me with like Rove McManus
I
or
think
some
it was
crap like
like
that?
you in this like limo. I think, sorry, I'm going to say straight after. I think it was maybe early hours
It
of
might
the
have been
morning.
before. Or, I don't know.
No, it was you in a limo with like Rove, Andy, the cook.
Yeah, Andy.
Dylan
Andy
Alcott.
Allen, yeah.
In this like limo, and I was like, that actually looks really fun.
It was fun as. It was just kind of weird because like I've never pictured myself being in that space,
That's what
right?
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm walking past like I'm in a zoo, right? I'm like, that's just fucking Rove McManus.
Yeah, I love Rove.
And he's so nice.
Yeah.
And it's oh my God, that's this person, that's that person. But then also there were so many people that I just didn't know.
Yeah. I'm just looking up a lyric of a song.
Yeah.
So Mac Miller's like my favorite artist. And he has this song, RIP, and he has this song, I'll get the name of the song, it's just gone blank because it's on it now, but he talks about, he goes, I want to make it big so everybody know me. I made it big and everybody phony.
A bit of that.
Was there a bit of that going on? Because
like I'll tell you what, everyone comes up and gives you the air kiss. They're like,
yeah.
Such a big fan. Loved what you've done this year. So
Fuck off.
I don't reckon you know who I am.
You don't follow me on TikTok.
Hey, you need to plug your TikTok, mate.
No, you need to plug yours.
No, does everyone know that you got TikTok?
Oh, they know. I'm big on TikTok. Huge.
So I've just got TikTok.
We were speaking about it at the start of the show.
We don't know how to do TikTok. Well, I'll actually show you how bad our TikTok skills are.
I want to go back to the Mac Miller question.
But yeah, so you're cruising through and you legit like, and I caught myself doing it too because I'm like, I'm trying to be polite, right? So like people are going, Tony, such a big fan. I'm like, loved what you've done this year as well. And then I catch myself, I'm like, fuck, come on, man. Like, don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't lie to someone's face. But then, so
There's some good people there though.
of course,
Yeah.
just like
Who's
any,
like the people that you've met where you're like, you know what, good person on the TV, good person in real life, or even maybe someone you're like, don't like the way they present, but then met them and they were awesome.
love Hamish, love Andy.
Blake, Andy Lee.
Yeah. They're both such lovely
I
fellas.
think I've heard of those guys.
Yeah. Very, very lovely fellas. Like just
Everyone.
like all the ones who you look at and you go, yeah, I reckon they'd be great.
They're pretty good.
They all are.
Yeah.
I think just like anything, it's people who are insecure in themselves, and I've been there for sure. I think coming into like that space a bit later in my life, I see it for what it is, but I think some people who maybe haven't established themselves yet, or they care a lot about the notoriety rather than just doing the work, I think they can be the ones who can accidentally or without realizing it, you know, probably like take up a lot of space in a room.
Yep.
But
that's life, isn't it, man? Like,
of course,
you know when people say
man.
that, they're like, oh, even in footy, like, which ones are the flogs? It's like, there's flogs that work
Everywhere.
at like the petrol station and like at anywhere.
yeah,
Like,
at,
it's just-
at PWC, Westpac, whatever it is, you know, like, but yeah, I mean, everyone there is just like doing their best, and there's so many similarities in that industry to footy. Like, it's so ruthless.
yeah.
It is so
You got to
ruthless.
be a bit of a. We spoke about this last week on a serious note. Like, I think for any successful, I hate making generalizations, but I'm going to say, like, for any person that is somewhat successful, I think you've got to have a bit of see you next Tuesday in you. I think you've got to have that killer instinct in a point. You know what I mean? Because if you're too nice and you're not a killer, you just let people walk over you.
100%. That's why I've got agents.
Yeah, agents. That's a plural.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
That means more than one.
3.
Fuck.
No, but seriously.
That's cool, man.
No, but like dead set, I can't have a tough conversation.
So you just, make them have it.
But like seriously, and like I think, you know, how you've said like they need to have some see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't have that in a professional setting.
Yeah.
At all. And so I would genuinely get walked all over if I didn't have people advocating
Having
for
it
me.
back.
Advocating for me.
So these agents that you have, are they all from one company?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So they're 3 women, and they all worked together at another agency, a talent agency, and they decided to go out on their own, the 3 of them together.
Yep.
And they're amazing. So each of them looks after a different facet of what I do. So
what, one's like writing, one's TV, one's
writing.
Acting?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Exactly that.
Okay.
And so, yeah, like the writing stuff has been, like no one sees that, but she's been really busy. The one for the acting stuff, she's been like, she basically has just been saying no to everything because nothing has really come through that we want to do.
Yeah.
And then once some of this other stuff lands, then she'll be quite busy.
You're giving too much away, man.
No, that's not too much. And then
going on The Bachelor.
And I'm going to pretend to like people. Yeah. That's Big A for acting. And then my other one looks after my like telly stuff, or entertainment shit. And it's just so great because I don't know how to have a tough conversation advocating for myself. I could do it. I could do it for you.
Yeah, but you can't do it for
myself. I couldn't do it. So I've outsourced it, and it's the best thing ever.
Yeah,
like they're like my boss.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Tony, you're due here at this time. Tony, you're due there at that time.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, so
helps a lot. It takes that pressure off.
Yeah, and also also you get to be like you don't have to make any enemies.
Yeah. See, I'm the opposite to that.
No,
No,
big bad Dylan Buckley. Here he comes.
No, not in that sense at all. But like, because I love having relationships with people. I find that I'm always getting in situations where I'll try and do the right thing, but then it goes too far, and then you get stuck in this awkward situation of fuck, what do I do now? There's a friendship there, so I think I know exactly what you're saying, and that's not even just like take that back to maybe a human level where I'm at. That's just like relationship stuff, and anyone out there, I think they could probably relate to just overstretching themselves, and you try and be a good person. You know what I used to do when it's so embarrassing saying this, but when we first started, like I would. Because it's very hard, like when I was a one-man band and I was trying to like get things off the ground, I made like a email of like @Dyl Friends and would email brands and talk to them on my behalf, pretending that I was like, it was the best because it would take that away, you know? They're like, Dylan is not happy doing this. We would rather do this. And it was like, they thought that I was bigger than what I was, which is fantastic.
Bro, that's so smart. I've never thought of doing that.
Yeah, admin at Tony Armstrong.
Yeah.
.com.
Tony Armstrong's PR. He's not available right now.
Manager at TonyArmstrong.com.
Yeah. Tony Armstrong can't make the phone right now.
Yeah, he can't make it. And then it says...
or ever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, how much is the... he can't do that. No.
No. What?
But I know what you mean. And it's so chicken shit, but it's such human nature, man. Like
we avoid it.
You and I, we've spoken about this ad nauseum in our life of knowing each other, like... We hate letting people down. We hate being the bad guy. And like half the time you're not even being a bad person. You're just being honest. But to us, that feels like the end of the world, you know? Yeah. You've let everyone down.
It's a weird thing, man. And like even Darcy will contest to this as well. And like I think I've even spoken to you about this because you're definitely in this boat in my life where like I love and respect our friendship so much. But nearly when things have been going... When you become so busy and things are going so well for you, I nearly just like don't want to annoy you in the fact of like, I will never like call you. And I'm like, well, fuck, I know you want to hear from me, but I don't want to call you because I don't want to be like, I'm asking something from you. And when people leave the show, even if people come in for the podcast, if it goes for like over an hour, I'm like, I've got to get this person out of here. They fucking hate me. Like I've got this weird thing where people just don't want to like spend time with me.
Oh, it's so weird, isn't it? And then like you end up getting crippled by your own kind of mind and you're just like, I mean, fucking hell. It's like, I think if, like, as you get older, you get better at like accepting that people might like you and and people might like you for being you as well. So like, yeah, I used to always have imposter syndrome with everything I did. I still do to a degree. That's probably why you work hard. But yeah, it's like I work so hard on this in my psych in that like I'm allowed to actually let people in and like also like set up boundaries with people who I love. And yeah, in the past I've just kind of given people surface level stuff because I'm afraid of like letting them down or letting them in too deep and stuff. Yeah.
I'd love to talk about that with you. Like talk about another song that I like, Biggie Smalls. This isn't to do with it, but like in terms of more money, more problems, and not talking about more money, but more jobs, more things that are coming. The bigger your life gets, the busier it gets, the harder it gets to deal with stuff. How have you personally gone like with that side of it? Like you're so in demand, you got shit pulling you everywhere. You got 3 people that have to, help you make decisions. How have you felt on a psychological level? Like you just said, then speaking to people, like what's been a big challenge for you, and how have you felt? How have you like managed it and dealt with it? And
I'm still working on it, and like I'm working on like the big thing I'm working on right now is where I get my validation from. That's the big thing I'm working on. So for so often I've been a people pleaser because I want people to like me, and how do I try to get people to like me? Well, that has always been through being good at shit. So as a kid, it was through being good at sport. And then when I got to AFL level, I had that prism shattered because I wasn't good at it anymore, or like in that space, I wasn't good at it. So that shattered my identity and one of the things that made people like me. And then now, like people who don't know me come up to me on the street and say, "G'day," all this kind of stuff. They feel like they know me, which is lovely. But I'm really working hard on making sure that I get my validation right now from doing the work rather than from people telling me that I'm doing a good thing. And so like when I make decisions now, I try to make decisions based on, will I like the work?
Yeah.
Is this, or like, so say you have a request come through. I heard this on another podcast, Smartless.
Yeah.
And Jason Bateman said he got some advice from someone where it's like, if it's not like, if someone asks you, "Hey, do you want to go and do this appearance at somewhere?" If you wouldn't be psyched to do it tomorrow, even if it's 3 months away, if you wouldn't be, rather than saying, "Oh yeah, I'll do that," knowing it's 3 months away and you might come around, just say no. But I guess back to the validation thing, it's like what I'm working on with that is, because like what I do is so public face, it's so in the spotlight. It's like my job is to be on telly. So that with that, it could be easy to let ego get in the way. And I'm trying to kill the side of my ego which would be doing it for validation from others. And I'm just trying to have a healthy ego where I want to feel good in myself.
Yeah.
I want to feel good about doing what I'm doing, and I'm doing it for me. And then because of how fickle life is and how fickle, the arts are or whatever they are, and having gone through it in footy with it, which is also a very fickle world, it's like, I think you have to love just the doing of it, because if you're only doing it to get it, like to feel good through the lens of other people getting around you, then I think
concerning.
Well,
it's a rabbit hole.
Well, you're just setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah. So, love it. We had Sam Gash on the show. I'm not sure if you know Sam Gash. She's an absolute star. Like, she was a lawyer, turned into an ultra marathon runner, has done Survivor, like just this awesome thing. And she taught me this unbelievable piece because like with podcasting and with interviews and with chatting to people, like you only sort of
nice.
Darcy's just grabbing some more wine. We love that. No, we love that. You only sort of hear from people when they're at this sort of stage, right, where you have gone through the hustle, the grind, and all these bits and pieces. So just doing another cheers.
By the way, Dylan also poured another glass for himself. I'm still on my first.
No, that's not true. So you go through this hustle and grind, you get to where you are at the moment, right? Where you're not you're at an incredible spot, but you're still hungry. You're nowhere near. You're not even touching the stars.
I'm not even at base camp.
No, you're not. But to the notion of when you're maybe a little bit backwards of where you are at the moment, right? You're at the beginning. And there's people that will be listening to this in different stages of their life. So like relating it back to them maybe. I hate speaking for people, but relating it back to them, I was speaking of a younger self and it's like at the beginning, you have to say yes to everything. You
100%.
have to say yes to everything, right?
We've spoken about
it because this is the yes, right? You go yes. And someone goes, do you want to do this? In your head, not really? Yes, I do. Okay? You fucking do it.
I'd
love to and I appreciate it.
And I'll be there early.
Do you know what? How much do you want for it? You know what? Nothing. I'd love to just get the experience.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the part. You say yes, 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 yes. Then when you've done the yeses and you've got the runs on the board, then you get to a stage where you're talking about at the moment where your yes turns into a no because your yes is actually robbing you from everything else, the other opportunities that you have to go into. So it's at the moment you say yes at the start, you yes the fuck out of every opportunity, you're grateful, you appreciate it, you do it for free, you learn because the part about the free and the monetization part is you don't have to be good at it. Because once that gets involved,
well, then you better be
perform.
good. Then you better be good. Yeah.
Then you get to that next stage that you're talking about now, and it's like you've actually got to learn how to say no. And saying no, like we're talking about with the agents or with whoever it is, and how you get that done, you got to refine it. Because at the end of the day, you fill up your burners. There's only time to go into X amount of things, and I found this a really big problem for me. Is I kept saying yes, and still at the moment struggle.
Did you say yes for a bit long?
I still do. I'm still terrible at it, and. You think about your cups and what you're filling up, and you only have 100% of
you've
time,
only got
right?
You've only got a pie.
I have 110 because I work a bit harder than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, and
a bit harder than you.
And
so
you're known for that.
Yeah, I'm known for that. So I have 110%.
I guess my 100's your 110.
So my 110 sort of your 90.
I mean, your words. I'm not going to push back on that.
But it's like if you're saying yes to 10 things at 100%, that's 10% into each of them.
That's a really good way to put it. Yeah.
You can have
two things
and you fucking go as hard as you can into it. And that's the things that you do. So I think it's a good, I just think it's important because people listen at different stages of where they are. And it's like you work out what you are and be honest with yourself or where you are. Because sometimes a lot of people might even they start saying no too early. Or they
well, I remember like I got my break on NIRS, which is National Indigenous Radio Service. I was calling football and doing special comments for, I mean, it barely filled the car up for the week. And I'd be doing 3 games a weekend commentating so off Broadway. Yeah. And then if I had time, I would go and do a dummy call where I'd just go to the ground, go to one of the spare boxes and I'd commentate to literally to no one. I'd put the cans on. The cans, for those who don't understand that terminology, is like the headset. I'd put the cans on.
I thought you were saying like put 2 cans of Coke on your ears or something.
So that's so not funny. And I'd and like you'd literally fuck man.
Sorry man.
Work on that.
Sorry man.
Yeah.
Can we take that out?
Can we
cut that. Can that.
Cut that. And I'd literally just yell out of the box to no one. Practicing. So that's not, like no one's even asked me to be there. I'm just there. And that's how I got my break. Just by doing that over and over again. So like I knew some people were getting 1 game of footy a weekend. I was doing 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
So in the space of a month, you
get the runs on the board.
Yeah, people. You probably hear it in whatever industry you work in. It's like the flying hours, the driving hours. You just get the time at the wheel. But then there came a point where, and this probably happened a bit over a year ago for me, where I had to start getting really deliberate about the projects I've like aligned with and started doing, because not only do you have to start thinking about your time and your ability to put effort in, but then you also need to start thinking, well, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
You know, because at the start you'll do anything, but then, you know, you kind of, as you do more of it, you realize what you like and what you don't like, and you start heading towards what you do like and what you're good at. Hopefully they're together.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And then you have to start making decisions around doing that. And then, of course, money's going to come in for things that you don't want to do. But like the money can be really great. And then you have to be really disciplined and going, well, that doesn't align to where I want to go. And then, you know, you have to make a decision. Like, what's it going to be? Is it going to be taking a big wad of cash to go do something? Or is it, you know, in whoever's case it might be, is it going, like, is it getting, like, is it doing the thing you don't want to do for short-term gain versus doing something that will give you fulfillment for a long time?
So for you, like you could have stayed in footy and become an awesome commentator.
I probably could have been like doing Fox and
Triple, like whatever it is, you could have done that.
It would have been Triple M and Fox, I'd
Triple
say.
M and Fox, okay. So you could have done that. And what I loved personally and from an outside perspective, just I don't know what the decision was this, and I can maybe guess what it was, but there was a bigger picture for you. Like, was the dream, like, this is what I loved what you were doing. My sort of mindset was like, in this time we're chatting, was like, all right, I'm going to do this and own this space, but try and diversify in terms of not just footy, like let's get out and do other things.
Yeah.
But for you, it was always bigger than that. Like, did you want to, was your goals to always exit that and become more? And why? Was it for impact? Was it for like, what was the...
Well, I think, don't get me wrong, I fucking love footy.
You do? Yeah, that's something, like, I was questioning that.
Like I've fallen back in love with it.
Yeah.
I hated it.
You love the Swannies?
Love the Swans, man. Love the Swans. RIP this season, but love the Swans.
Who do you love the most?
Sorry?
Who do you love the most?
I love the duck ass Ollie Florent. I love Ollie Florent. He's so good.
I love Chad Warner so much.
Yeah, the Chad, mate. He's off his head.
And Errol Goulden.
Yeah, obviously, shout out Ramps, shout out Parks, who I played with. Shout out Harry Cunningham. Shout out Tom Hickey. He's a good fella.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, love my Swans. Whenever I get a chance, I go to the games. But
you've been there, done it. Let's do something different.
Yeah, and also like, I love like scripted TV. I love the arts. I love all that shit. And I've, like, what I'm doing right now isn't that, but that's where I'm heading.
Yeah. And can I ask with that stuff, because I've always known that's a passion of yours, okay? Like, that's a talent, it's a passion, it's where you want to go. Where did that come from, though? Because, like, as an 18-year-old, that wasn't on your horizon, was it?
Yeah, well,
was it? Or just didn't know?
Maybe not getting in, like maybe not actually doing it or speaking it into existence. It was more...
It was a back of the picture sort of thing?
No, it was just, I loved it. Like, like, for instance, the boys would love watching the footy on Saturday night. I'd be like, can we watch The Mighty Boosh? Or I want to watch The Thick of It. Or I want to watch...
Chocolat.
Pardon?
What? Sorry, what?
Sorry,
I was going to say chocolat.
No, I think you did say chocolat.
It's a French chocolate film with
Johnny Depp. Yeah, he's covered himself in glory recently too.
Oh, well, look, let's not. Like, that was what he's... Tony, come on. It was an artsy movie. I was trying to join in on.
Artsy, we'll make excuses for art. We'll make excuses for art.
I'll get the Molly Duca out of my hands right now.
Dyl and Friends, the apologists.
Moving on.
No.
That was the only sort of artsy one I sort of knew.
I mean, there's so many films in the world, and you've gone with Chocolat.
The Untouchables.
Yeah, okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, done that. I just was it because Chocolat is fun to say?
Yeah.
Say it again. This isn't.
And you know what? The funny thing is, I've never actually seen the movie either. I just sort of. I just saw it once, and it was like on TikTok. It said like top 10 indie films, and that was one of them.
Can you give us your best Richard Mercer saying chocolat?
Oh, Richard Mercer. Remind me of that guy again. He was on Smooth 101.
Love song dedications. He'd be like, hey Dylan, it's Tony's just called in.
He likes chocolat.
He wants me to play this song for you. He says this will take you back to the time in the podcast when you revealed yourself as an apologist. Anyway, Dyl.
I don't even know what that means.
Here's chocolat.
No, let's no chocolat. I don't know what the appropriations of that movie is. I regret saying that. I apologise. I don't know what that meant. Moving on, I've got to think something I want to bring up with you because what I was going to nearly...
Yeah, I'm excited.
No, I actually think you'll really like this because we're a couple Molly Dookers deep and there's this thing that I really love, and I think you'll like it. We were talking before about things like strengths and weaknesses and things that you like, things that you don't, things that give you power. So there's this thought process around strengths and weaknesses that needs to be rethought, right? Like a strength is something you're good at and a weakness is something you're not good at, whether that be physically or whatever, however you perceive that it happens.
Like weakness, maths, strength, English.
So, yes.
For like as an example.
Exactly. So this person that was talking about it, which is totally fucked by me that I can't remember who it is, and I need to get who it is because it's their study and their like ethos and philosophy that I'm just like reusing. But it talks about your strength and a weakness being something. A strength is something that gives you strength, and a weakness is something that weakens you. So, for example, a strength doesn't mean you have to be necessarily good at it, but it gives you strength when you do it. So it gives you like purpose, it gives you energy, it gives you whatever that is.
So for us, that's golf.
Well, golf, exactly. It comes back to
golf gives us strength. We love it.
Well, it's that, but it's something that gives you. It's more like, for example, talking back to the stage of when you were getting into, and you were talking about getting into TV or writing or whatever you were doing. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but I don't think you would have been very good when you first started doing that stuff. But did it give, and you might have had a natural ability, I'm sure you did, but did it give you strength when you did it? And it's like people would think your strength is AFL, but it probably wasn't giving you the strength versus when you're getting into this arty scene, I don't know if you were necessarily Vincent van Gogh, but you got strength from it.
You're happy with Vincent van Gogh, aren't you? I mean, I've never seen you look more smug.
Yeah, I felt good. I was just looking at you to make sure that it was okay. Yeah. It wasn't Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You
come back on the horn.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, he's fucking ruined it again.
Nah,
okay.
Anyway, mate, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know
Do you
what?
like that?
I really like that. It's not an analogy. I really like that take. I think for me, it was something that I loved doing. I had you've obviously, I think a lot of the things that give you strength, I mean, and this is just a generalization, but I think most people would take strength from things that they've got a bit of an affinity for.
Yeah.
They might be a little bit okay at it, or they show some flair for it. And I certainly did with this stuff, but I was shit when I started. And I'm still I'm still at at the start. I've only been doing it for a little while.
But even I think about it, think about your friends right now, right? That and I've met a couple of your friends. They're very funny.
Oh, they're
What was your mate's name that we really got along? The lawyer, Louis. I miss him.
He's a barrister now.
He's a barrister. That was really impressive of him.
He's it's so funny. So he's shout out Lewis Winter.
Hey, Lewis. I miss you.
It's so funny. So he's just passed the bar. He's just become a barrister.
Big loves his rugby union.
So he literally just booked tickets to the World Cup.
Yeah, there you go.
And so funny. He's done his time in prosecution and now he's a defense. So now he does defense because that's where the cash is at. What's up, sell out Lewis? Anyway, he will always send me texts about his clients and he's like,
I don't know if you should incriminate him like that.
No.
Okay.
No, but he's
not
like not telling me about what they've done, but he'll be like, just off to the magistrate's court to get my definitely not guilty client off. You know, yeah, he's so funny.
I don't know why I brought him up, but I was just thinking. I think I was on a roll with
because
something.
have you seen any Wes Anderson films? Like
I've seen. Look, I'm going to be completely honest. I've seen a lot of the TikTok edits of him at the moment. So it's like.
So sure. Yeah, but
very artsy. Like they've got
yeah. And Lewis wouldn't look out of place in a Wes Anderson film.
Yes.
This is the kind of guy we're talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Like he's like an oddball, but in a really endearing way.
Yeah,
he's the best.
He's quite handsome.
So why'd you bring him up?
I don't remember why I brought him up at all. But what I was
brilliant.
What I was talking about with before that was a part.
Cut that.
I think we might have to cut that part. That was fucking weird. I think what I was talking about was the in general, so people in society, the weakness part I was talking about is we get forced into so many things we're perceived good at right in high school, and whether that be writing or architecture or like any field possible that it is, footy, sport, whatever they are. And is that a strength or is that a weakness? Because at the end of the day, if it turns into a weakness, it's actually a strength of yours that you're over is actually turning into a weakness. Does that make sense? If you're good at something and you get over it and it's not giving you purpose or fulfillment anymore, that strength is actually a weakness because it's weakening you.
I guess like another way to say it is like do you get joy from it anymore?
Okay, that's probably a better way to say it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is this bringing you joy? If it's not bringing you joy anymore, leave it. Yeah. And then,
I don't know if I should pod and Molly Duca from now on because I think I'll go a bit.
But then I think
a bit weird.
But then I think, and this is like for everyone, you have to do shit you don't like sometimes.
Tia, I love that, man. This is the thing, the message that gets lost. If someone does some more shit about balance, that when people talk about balance, and I've been guilty of it too, like I hate myself for saying it. Someone will pick up a podcast saying balance. Balance is great, but you got to do shit you don't want to do.
Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Unless you are in a very privileged position.
Elon Musk, even he would do it.
But like unless you're in this like privileged position where money doesn't affect you, you're in a great socio-economic situation.
But I think then you still have to, because it gives you like perspective. Like you got to know what you like and what you don't. You got to have a mix. You can't be happy all the time.
I guess what I'm saying is like when I
maybe I should let you speak.
When I think about doing things I don't like, I'm very lucky in that I don't necessarily have to do anything I don't like except in work. Sometimes in work, situations arise where you just have to do something that you didn't want to do. Generally speaking, from a social situation, blah, blah, all that, I mean, no one likes going and picking up fucking mail that they've missed from the post office. No one likes doing that.
Yeah, just leave it there.
I've literally
leave it at my front door, please.
I mean, I've also just like bought shit online and then just never gone and picked it up because I'm just too lazy. And that's on me. That's a me thing. But I think generally speaking, most of us have to eat shit sometimes when it comes to our work life. And you talk about balance. The people who get to be balanced, generally speaking, are very privileged, who have come from a great and secure financial background. They've managed to get themselves in a position to become privileged, even if they weren't when they were a kid. So like, I mean, balance is great if you're privileged enough to be able to be balanced.
I like it.
You disagree?
I'm trying to just, I don't think that, I get what you're saying about if you're privileged and you're balanced, but I think that's like in that scenario, it's never going to leave you to a life of happiness or fulfillment, because that's just like you're living out a life that doesn't challenge you in a way. So I know what you're saying. I agree with that, but I'm probably talking it more in the fact of like people like us, everyday people. The balance part comes after you've worked hard, eaten shit. Yeah, so that's the part I'm saying.
Oh yeah, well like fuck.
I was on a different wavelength to you, but I get what you're saying. I
wanted to go and fucking call the footy to no one?
It'd be concerning if you did. It'd be a bit weird.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
And I did it because I knew it would make me better.
Yeah.
and I would record myself doing it and send it and then get notes on it.
We love you for that. How's your podcast going?
I really enjoy it. The pool room with Tony Armstrong. Have you listened?
I when I'm like on the charts and stuff, like because we're up the top, I sometimes scroll down the bottom and check yours out. How's it all going?
Are you that insecure?
No, I'm just mean like, as in I don't like see it as much because like.
Oh no, I get what you're saying, but like, are you that insecure in yourself that you have to say that?
I was just saying that.
You
like,
scroll down. Yeah, well, I guess.
No, I mean like not down.
How long you been doing this?
No, I didn't mean it like that, man. I just meant like it's good to see sometimes like down there, like that you're doing some good things. How's it going? No, I have listened to it. It's actually fantastic.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
You haven't actually asked me to come on it, which I'm really flattered about. You've been on twice here.
You obviously haven't listened then because I don't have guests.
You asked Denon to come on.
No, I didn't. That wasn't the podcast, you fucking idiot. I asked him to come on the telly show, ABC News Breakfast, caught in a web of his own lies, Dylan Buckley.
Do you know this happened to me? Do you know that this happened?
Can I have this cut up, please?
No.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened the other week?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck,
No, I know
mate.
you don't.
I don't give a fuck.
Luke Hodge was in here, who's a fan of yours.
There's not a chance my name came up.
It didn't come up, but I know he likes you. Anyway.
How many lies?
No, listen.
Lies and deceit.
And
Can
at
I
the start of the
believe
show,
anything?
I said to him, this is like coming back as really 180 here. But I said to him, mate, like, how you going? It's good to have you on. He goes, oh, mate, I'm a massive fan of the show. I was like, oh, who have you been listening to? He goes, oh, Nathan Buckley. And this was prior to Nathan Buckley anywhere near being on the show, which confirmed that he had not listened to one episode. So I apologise. I know what your show is. It's a sports update. It's news. It's what's happening. It's current affairs. What's happening in sport?
He's so wrong. He's so fucking wrong. Let's keep this in, and I want this on TikTok.
Talk through the podcast, man. What happens? How's it going?
So it's great sports yarns that you may not have heard.
That's what I mean.
No, it's not an update.
Oh, fuck me, man.
You know what I love? You know what I love so much? Not like you've had so many opportunities to pull out of this lie.
Yeah. And I just keep going. What's your favourite great sport yarn? Because mine's a big one, but I want to see what yours is. What's your favourite one?
I mean, still almost a lie.
Yeah.
Like what you're doing is, without saying it, like, and you know what you could have said, and I don't give a fuck if you haven't listened.
Yeah. I haven't listened.
Okay.
I haven't listened. But Tony, like, you're not listening to my show, you know? Like, come on, man. I speak to you on the phone. Why don't you listen to a podcast?
Yeah, I don't lie about it.
What's fucking trying to give it a promo on the show?
Yeah, I mean, this is...
Well, come on, man. It's acting. Like, I'm trying to fucking talk about it. Oh,
okay, so for those playing at home, this
and
is
in the studio.
This is kind of what you do when you haven't read the book that you're about to interview someone about, or you haven't listened to the podcast. You might ask a question that's pretty vague without saying you've listened to it. So you might say something like, "Dyl Friends, it's amazing. Tell me, what's been your favorite interview so far?"
Yeah.
Or, what's been your favorite episode?
I tried that, but I went a bit too specific.
Yeah, because like you know what's good.
Oh man, it's such a bad.
No, you know
so
what's
bad.
good about that though? It's nice to know that Dylan doesn't know how to lie.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, how's the show
Fuck,
going?
that's so funny,
No, it's
man.
not funny.
No, it actually is. I don't give a shit,
I
man.
know you don't, and that's why you're making me an idiot. You could have just gone along with it.
No, I believe in the truth, mate.
Yeah, I fucking know. I know that now. Oh, I don't think it is. I don't think this is going to make. No, we're not recording.
But like, I'm not going to put you through the ringer anymore, Dill. I love you, and I know if you had the time, you'd listen to the pool room with me,
would love to
Tony
listen to the
Armstrong.
Pool Room.
Yeah. So
the real reason is, you know, when I'm scrolling on the charts,
Oh, the insecurity comes back again. Yeah, yeah.
Like I see just going down that, like,
So your idea of a way out.
just to double down on
Yeah. Bro.
This is a good promo for the show, though, man. Who's this? Fuck.
So it's called the pool room
Got good
with
branding.
It's called the pool room with Tony Armstrong, and it's basically 10-minute sports yarns, really digestible about shit that you may not have heard. So, for
Yep.
instance,
Unbelievable contract clauses.
yeah, I mean, you're looking at Spotify right now, aren't you? Or, for instance, this jockey who died while on a horse but still won the race, or a marathon runner who went missing from the Olympics and turned up years later.
Okay, well, Tony, this is actually quite interesting.
Oh no, shit! Maybe give it a listen.
I actually will
The
give it a
pool
listen.
room.
Can you
With Tony
Can you
Armstrong.
tell me if, like, I'm not actually doing this now, but like, I wish I listened to it prior. I'll be honest. I'm really sorry about that. for anyone listening.
I don't care.
No,
again.
I know you don't care. I don't give a shit either. But tell me.
We know that's
It's
become
evident.
apparent.
I'm not doing this because I care. I'm doing this because I want you to tell me an unbelievable story. What's your favourite so far? Give me your most weirdest pool room story.
Actually, can I
It's
just?
actually quite a good name of the show because I get it now. Pool room.
It's got in there.
cool.
It's got in there.
I like that.
I'm going to tell you a yarn that's actually not in the pool room, but it's a fucking good yarn.
Okay.
So, 2000 Olympic Games. Do you remember when Lauren Burns won the Taekwondo? Lauren Burns?
The old me would have said yes. I'm going to be honest.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Google Lauren Burns Taekwondo.
Taekwondo is a hard word as well. Lauren Burns. Yep. Taekwondo.
So,
Taekwondo.
now I'm pretty sure it was Chris Dittmar. Maybe
Australia's first ever Taekwondo gold medalist.
I think it was Chris Dittmar. Anyway, it was someone. Let's say it was Chris Dittmar for argument's sake. I'm not sure if it was.
Yep.
But anyway, this commentator famously loved a beer and was commentating the 2000 Olympics. And anyway, so what happens when you commentate like big sporting meets like that? You get given a patch. So you might get given athletics and, I don't know, fucking badminton.
Yes.
And then once your sports are like, you have to deep dive on those sports, so you know everything about everyone, but only for those sports. So anyway, Ditz has done his last call for something. He's just, let's say it's the badminton. He's just finished doing the badminton in the middle of the day. Straight down to the hotel bar. Loved a beer. Goes down, starts smacking back some pints of beer. Lauren Burns is competing for gold that evening. Anyway, Ditz 4, 5, 6 beers down. Now this is Ditz. I think it's Ditz. I'm actually not 100% sure, but anyway, we'll go with it that it's Ditz. Gets a call. All the commentators for the Taekwondo have gone down. They're crook as fuck. They can't call the sport. So the head of 7 has called him up and he's like, Ditz, mate, you reckon you can
Fill in.
Do you reckon you can call the Taekwondo gold medal match? And he's a couple of skillies deep, so he's got a bit of Dutch courage.
Probably Molly Dukers.
So he goes, yeah, no worries. Can't be that hard. So he's half cut. Off he goes to the studio. Now, because they didn't have the facilities in the Taekwondo arena to house
Commentaries.
a studio for the commentators, he's doing it off the tube, which is, I guess, broadcasting terms for off the TV. So he's back in a Channel 7 studio doing it off the telly. So he's got the cans on, watching the live feed, listening only to the ambient sound that's from the mics that are there at the gold medal match. Now, Ditz is half cut, doesn't have any fucking idea of the rules, and I think like, I don't know for sure what the point scoring is, but let's say it's best of 7. He's calling it like it's fucking wrestling. He's going, it's a flip over the back. Point Australia. Like, he's calling it like it's WWE, right? And it gets to 3-3. And he starts calling. The crowd is up. They're cheering. Let's go, Lauren. All he can hear is,
no vision?
No, he's got the vision. And he starts calling the point. Anyway, the vision feed cuts. So all he's got is the ambi. And all he can hear is like, rah, and he's like, oh, it's tight. Rah, rah. And then he just hears a huge roar. But he can't see. So he's got a 50-50 here. And he just goes, she's done it. It's gold. Gold for Australia. Lauren Burns is that. Vision comes back on. She's done it.
Oh, my
Lauren
God.
Burns wins gold.
I thought you were going to go. Oh, my God. Wow. That's unbelievable.
Oh, I know. And there he's half cut. No ideas of the rules.
Wish I could have done that.
Yeah, choke slam.
So who's Dits? By the way, I didn't want to jump in too early.
So that's,
whoever the person is.
That's the name that I've got in my head.
Right.
But I'm not sure if it's actually Chris Dittmar. But anyway, a commentator, like that commentator, so Barry Denner of Triple M, who was like kind of my commentating mentor alongside BT, tells that story, and he does a far better job of telling it than me because he
pretty good job
because he knows the guy. But yeah,
it shows that piece though of just getting it done.
Fucking just get it done. But how good? Like half cut at the bar, the boss. Yeah, man, I got it.
I love that. I need to get better at not pretending I know things when I don't.
But anyway, so it's yarns like that are on the pool room.
Yeah. Okay, check the pool room out. I will be with you checking it out. I'll make sure that we do. Let's get that up the charts this week, guys. Let's get it up the top.
Can you fucking believe it?
Oh, mate, that was bad by me.
No.
I was fucking shit.
Can you please send me that because I'm
no,
gonna,
we don't need to send anyone
I'm
anything.
gonna kind of supercut it. Yeah.
No, because with the stuff these days, with
I think it's gonna be a good TikTok.
I don't think so. I don't think that'll work.
Will that be a good TikTok? Like and subscribe.
No, we don't need that. Mate, just before...
yeah, before we go.
Well, you don't need to go anywhere, to be honest. I've got to get that out of my vocabulary. I think it's a Molly do because... Can we talk about Europe?
Yeah. And pasta?
Tell me, like, I went to Europe last year. I've been to Europe twice, been lucky enough. Everyone's going there at the moment. You were there. Did you have a fun time?
Had an amazing time.
Did you have a fun time because you were in Europe, or did you have a fun time because you had like wanderlust?
Do you know what wanderlust means?
The love of travelling.
You've done it again, haven't you?
Just made it up.
Yeah.
It's one of those words though that like
No.
but it's one of those words you know what it means, but you don't know the definition of it. Like I know what it means. Let's work it. Like, what do you think it means?
I don't know.
It says a strong desire to travel. That's what it means.
Fuck, you weren't bad, were you?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
For you.
Did you have fun?
Had a great time.
Where'd you go? Recommendations. Give some recommendations. I want to take something away from this show. Fuck me.
I would go to a place called Aria in Naples. It's a degustation, meal.
Yeah. Okay.
It's beautiful.
I thought that's what you meant, but
the city of Naples. I had a 7-course degustation there. That was unbelievable. I was literally crying as the food was coming out because it was so good.
It was yummy. A degustation.
So it's like when
I know
they
what a
bring out.
degustation is.
So it's like when they bring out. So it was like 7 courses and like matched wines to each course.
Yeah.
But it's all like,
small, tiny foods.
handful sized.
Yeah.
So you get like a big. You get like a big array of what the restaurant does, and I was just.
Who'd you go with?
Sorry,
Who'd you go with?
just went with some friends.
Yeah. Was it good?
Yeah, it was great.
Good.
So that was lovely. And then there's an island, Ischia, which is off the coast of Naples. I would suggest going there.
So mainly Italy?
No, I flew in and out of London. Actually, do you know who John Cleese is?
Yeah. Like, I do, like, as in, let me just look his face up again. But you told me this before because you're doing something with him, aren't you?
Yeah, so I caught up with him.
Yes, I know.
for
He's
lunch.
off, what movie is he off again?
Oh, you might have heard of Monty Python.
Monty Python, that's a one.
This guy's.
Oh, mate. Oh, there's your fucking Monty Dukers, man. I don't drink anymore.
Am I? Do you think I've got him rattled?
Yes.
What? Why?
Don't know.
I mean,
I know Monty Python.
I suck.
Yeah.
I can't have you rattled, mate.
Sorry. So you caught up with him in Naples?
No, caught up with him in London. He hopefully it works out because there might be the opportunity for us to do something together in the future, which would be so cool. I kind of grew up on that kind of comedy. Yeah, so that was like a real highlight. But yeah, London, France, Spain. Do you remember Tommy Walsh?
Yeah.
So
From Sydney.
Yeah, I lived with Tommy Walsh in Sydney. He got married in a place called Marbella. So went to his wedding.
Beautiful.
And then went up to Copenhagen to visit some friends and family.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then back down to Italy and then flew out of London.
It's a cool part of the world.
Yeah, it was so nice, man. I just ate pasta, drank wine.
You went a bit reclusey, didn't you? You sort of got off.
Yeah, well, I'm not like, I've never been huge on them in terms of like posting. But I'm going to give TikTok a go, see what happens.
Yeah.
Definitely going to cut some shit up out of this.
I wouldn't.
I will.
I'm going to be cutting so many things out of this.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that was some of the all-time shit.
Oh, it was so awkward. Because it's just like I knew. I was just trying to talk about the show, man. Like I was trying to do like a justice about the show, have a bit joke about it, and then like, yeah. Like I wasn't trying to fix you that I'd watched it or listened to it, but I was just trying to promo it. Apologise. What else, man? What else is going on? What's for TA in the next like? Let's not make it 3 years since we do another one of these. What's the next little bit?
No. You know what? When I'm allowed to come on and talk about the things.
The thing.
Yeah. So I've got a few things. It's really annoying not being able to say what they are, but you guys can both attest. I literally called people and asked if I could.
You called 2 of your 3 managers prior to recording.
Yeah, and asked if I could talk about it.
Yeah, and I don't know which ones they were out of the 3 like things. So I don't even know, but it's exciting, man.
Yeah, but I'm very excited.
So is it locked or not? Like it's 99.9.
It's kind of like
It's there.
Well, so one of them's like signed, sealed, delivered. The other one, I'm just waiting to sign the contract. And then there's some other ones that I'm not allowed to talk about yet.
Okay, so just ask me this question then. Answer me this question. Is it the writer, manager? Is it the acting manager or the TV manager? Which manager is doing these things for you? That's a good question.
That's a great question.
It's John Cleese of me.
I still don't think you know who John Cleese is. Oh, no. Okay. So one of the things will involve 2 of the managers working in concertina. That means together.
Together, I gathered that, yeah.
One of the things is just one of the managers. Another one of the things is just one of the managers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on you, man.
Hey, Dyl, can I just say how rapt I am to see how well you do?
Man, you don't have to say that, but I appreciate it. And you are doing incredibly well. Let's not make this about a pat on the back competition, but I do really appreciate you. I appreciate you as a friend because in a definite way, you really motivate me, man. So I appreciate you for pushing it because I really just love seeing what you're doing. And not even, like, I think the one thing we probably haven't even touched on today, which I think there's more power in what it is, but not even as a person, not as a friend, not as a actor, host, writer, whatever it is, but just the impact you're having in the community is like what I love the most.
Oh, thanks, man.
So, I don't know how proud you are of that, but I just wanted to let you know how I am proud of you of that.
You're a legend.
It's cool, man. It's really cool to see, and I just love that you're a champion. And we spoke about before about that thing like the Mac Miller quote of want to make it big as everyone knows me, when everyone knows me, everyone's phony. And it's the opposite of what you are. So the bigger and better you can become, I think the better and bigger we can all become as people. So I appreciate you.
That's so nice.
Thank you, my boy. We will cut out all those weird
No, we got to leave them in.
Should we have one more Wally Duka when we're outside?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Love you, bro.